Guys, what happened here? Okay, all right, hi guys. This is my jump on this. Jason had to go off and just take care of something quickly, but he will be back. And by the way, while we're sitting here, let me draw your attention to that brand new logo on his wall, CSNE, meaning Common Sense News and Entertainment. Certain unnamed companies, eat your heart out. So, yeah.
Common Sense News and Entertainment is the way, baby. You just watch as the time unfolds.
Yes, and by the way, I saw, so Selena has held on to the logo, I guess, for Connecticut Common Sense. Did I get her card? I think I did. Let me see here.
All right, we're going to go live on Facebook.
Yeah, okay. But on
we're
her
also
card,
going to go live on Facebook. Here we go. I feel like I've been a little absent lately, but I've been catching up on things. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Common Sense News and Entertainment. Check out the logo, baby. Here we are.
It's Saturday night, and we're going to kick butt.
It's Saturday night. It's going to feel all right. And this is Jason Douglas here, along with my friend Cora Ratnowski, giving Yankee News once again for another awesome content-filled hour of excitement.
Well,
here again in our driving on May 30th, Saturday, May the 30th, as we draw closer to my favorite month of June.
Well, I would say grim excitement. There's a concept, grim excitement.
Grim excitement. That's an oxymoron, but let's go. Let's go with it. What do you got to say?
Well, so Selena and I were at this, called it a training session today, featuring Mark Cook. Now, had you hooked up with Mark Cook at all?
I met him in Naugatuck just the other day, and I wanted to go to this event Saturday, but couldn't. But I met him, and he was a guest, by the way, on our Common Sense News and our Connecticut Common Sense podcast with Selena last Thursday.
Okay, so it seems like he's been traveling all around the country preaching the gospel of hand counting and citizens taking control of their elections, because it is the governments that have continued to inflict fraud on us every single time, and they've been doing it for decades. So we're sitting
since 2015, especially since 2015.
Oh, further back. He told.
Yeah, but they've ramped it up on the general election in the last 10 years.
Well, yes, but ramped it up in a way that's very disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, his take-home message is that as we sit here and speak, now to be clear, we don't blame the Democrats. This is the elites. Okay, so this is the Soroses and the Singhams and the other rich commies of the world.
Who, to be fair, back the Democratic Party. So,
well, they have connections, but the real purpose of manipulating these elections is for the elites to stay in power.
Correct.
You know, it's based on the belief that we cannot have the little people winning elections. And that's it in a nutshell. So as a result,
otherwise,
yeah. So as a result, these people have built out the most incredible fraud infrastructure. I think that's a good way to put it. Fraud infrastructure for manipulating.
Scary term, but true.
It is unbelievably true. And this concept of fraud infrastructure extends to election workers diddling with ballots right there in the counting station, the counting places, to, software algorithms that absolutely screw elections up, to, how should I say this, hiring, perhaps is the word, members of our postal service to make sure certain things happen to certain ballots during election time, and then many other dirty tricks. And so as these stories are told, the picture emerges that there's this huge, complex, interconnected system designed to make sure that the little guy candidates do not win. And he went so far as to claim the following. For the 2024 election, they let Trump win.
Why would that be?
Because all hell would break loose if they had stolen the election from him again.
After what happened in 2020.
Right. So they realized that maybe they've sort of hit their limit, but that hasn't stopped them from dickering with what we'll call down ballot elections. Okay.
And they're going to tinker with it this fall too, when it comes to the control of the House of Representatives, perhaps.
All right. So that said, there's still time for us to make some dent in the problem in Connecticut, because for us, that's all we can worry about. So this is me promising you and others to get to work on this, on Project Red Hawk, with fanatical diligence.
Well, isn't it true that the answer to this is more about making as many people aware of it as we can?
That's one part of it.
That's a big part of it.
Yes, but I'll tell you, in practical terms, the other incredibly important part is, if you're going to push for a system of hand counting, it helps if you have people ready to go on hand counting.
To do the hand counting.
All right, so that's what Mark Cook is all about. I mean, he spent, I think it was 4 hours we were busy at it today. 3 of those hours were spent talking about all the other crap that goes on. Then a half hour was spent discussing things and taking questions. And then the last half hour was actually learning how to do hand counting of ballots.
So you suggested if we go to a town committee and we can convince them that they should do hand counts, but we're not going to convince them unless we can present, let's do hand counts, and here are the people ready to do the hand counts.
Well, Mark would tell you something different. And the something different that Mark would tell you is that we set about the business of setting up a parallel election system. And that parallel election system entails, so let's take the primary that's coming up in August, that we will have people sitting out in front of or near the polling places, inviting people to vote in our parallel system. Okay, the parallel system will have all the features that they have inside: ID check, voter roll list, check you off, hand you the ballot, they put it there, and then take the paper ballot, dump it in the box, and we'll be counting it later. All right, so we would do that. Now, that
you have to get everybody. You have to get everybody to participate, though. How are you going to do that?
Well, we're probably not going to get everybody to participate, but you're going to come as close as you can. And this is where this is where a massive public education effort is absolutely necessary here. So that's you, that's me. All right, looking at all the different ways that we're going to get the word out, whether it's through social media, emails, I don't know, flyers.
It's definitely out there on social media for some, some level.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a way, the social media is a lazy man's way out, in my opinion.
It's one of the ways. It's not the only way. It's just one of the bricks in the wall, really.
Okay. So the other way,
but you can't rely on it either.
Okay. The other way to think about this is that we would get other groups to work with us. So it turns out, now did you say you talked to Brendan Strzok?
No, but Cook knows him. They're friends. They're close friends.
That's right.
And
so
he texted him on my behalf.
Right.
And Strzok wrote back and wanted to know how I wanted to help.
Okay.
And I said it was either with infrastructure or with actual field work. And I said, well, either one, but field work preferred. And then he hasn't got back to me since then. But we're going to follow up.
Okay. Well, I guess I'd be surprised that Brendan. I mean, maybe having a chapter with 700 people is in it is small potatoes for him. I don't know. But the Connecticut chapter, 700 some people.
Are you talking about subscribers on Facebook or members?
Members.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so these are people who signed up and, raising their hand saying, yes, I'm all in. Now, it could be that, I don't know if these are just Democrats who walked away from the party or if it's other people. I have to check myself because I start to think they're like me, and that may not be the case. Mm-hmm. So in any event, if there's a way for these walkaway people to work together with us on the election fraud issues, that could have tremendous impact.
It certainly could. And the walkaway movement is honestly where the rubber meets the road here. It's actually a turnover. Every time you get somebody, it's a turnover. It's a turnover in the population, and that's where what really matters here at the end of the day. How many people have their freedom in mind, and how many people don't? Well,
again, we're stuck with the same fundamental problem. So many people are not aware, don't care, don't understand, and don't understand that they have a role to play. Okay, that to me, this again, it's like every other movement. When you're trying to do something, you hit the same wall. All right, and you just have to back off and understand that you're starting from zero, and just go about your business. Okay, but look, there were 22 people at this meeting today. Okay,
pretty good.
So that's 22 people from around the state who know and care about this issue within that small circle. You can tack at least one more zero on the end of that in terms of people in the state who, in one way or another, quote, want to do something. In my humble opinion, all right. Okay.
So the next meeting should have that number, have that 220 attending.
Yeah. Well, yes. So
even half that.
All right. So what it comes, but the thing is, it looks just like what we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have groups built around each voting district in each town.
That's right.
Okay. And as I was talking with Michelle, who's a registrar in Hebron, she recognized that there are logistics. You have staffing issues, not to mention management issues here.
That's what we have at CSNE right now.
Well, that's another story. All right. But with respect to getting you, so in other words, for each and every voting district, we would need at least 6 to 8 people. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Intake, record keeping, ballot clerk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Managing the ballot box, if you will. So what is that? 1, 2, at least 4, maybe 5. And you have to have somebody who's acting as the moderator.
Yeah.
Looking over the whole thing.
Did you ever get a chance to talk to Laura was Kavanaugh? Did you have a chance to talk to her?
Well, I texted her and I called her. Her mailbox is full. So at the moment, she's a little hard to get a hold of.
She'll come around.
Yeah, I would like to believe that. I think she will. But, yes. Lori is, if anybody.
I have her number too.
If anybody is, what do you call it? Shoulder to the wheel, she is.
Yeah, she is.
All right. So, yeah. So I have to try again to try and catch her. What else can I say?
Okay.
Let's see. So there was her phone number. I haven't tried her email. I might get lucky with her email. Let's see here. Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting distracted here. All right. So this day has been spent becoming aware of all the things that have to be done, and I can tell you that the elites are dead dog determined to not let us win in any way, shape, or form whatsoever.
That's right.
Okay. So, we're sitting there going, oh, yeah, we just go to each town and do hand counting. Well, the state of Connecticut passed a law that limits hand counting only to when the tabulators blow up.
Jeez.
Okay, but
towns can override that, though.
Well, we might have a few ways to blow those tabulators up. Oh my God, the things I learned today. Okay, so you're not a computer guy, right?
Only to a degree, not anything like Mr. Cook.
Okay, so let me just set this up for you.
On the user level.
Yes. So let me set this up for you. If you happen to be standing around, now y'all would have been a little young for this, but if you'd been standing around 1980 when the personal computer revolution started.
I was 10 years old.
Okay. Well, you would have been if you were so inclined. And so you would have gotten either like, say, a Trash 100, a Nintendo maybe, I think, or a couple of the things. But so you had the very first, the personal computers. I guess the first notable one would have been the IBM PC.
Mm-hmm.
I think that came out in 81 or 82, maybe a little later. Okay.
And those are the ones that when I was in middle school, they had set up. I took a computer class in middle school, and those are what they had set up.
Okay. So the first thing you would have learned about is the operating system. Do you remember the operating system?
DOS.
That's right. DOS. Do we know how old and ancient DOS is?
Yeah, it's from like the days before Christ.
All right, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, so he does a demonstration. He says, you take this flash drive. He had a volunteer say, I guess you don't know much about computers, do you? He said, no, I don't. He said, look, just stick this flash drive in this slot right here. Bang, that's it. That's all you do. And now we watched this flash drive come to life. Code is chattering across the screen. Okay? It's beginning to infect the system. It's changing things so that the fraud can be committed. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, wait a second. It's just DOS. It's not Windows. It's not anything. It's just DOS.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, are you telling me that within the constraints and limitations of DOS, you're able to run a fraudulent election? And the answer is yes.
Of course.
Well, I don't know about of course. I mean, okay. All right. Well, if it's obvious to you, great. It wasn't obvious to me. The idea that DOS is all you need.
Well, it was just, again, you could do an if statement. If, vote equals blah, then change this. I mean, it's a very simple algorithm.
Look,
right into a counting calculation.
You don't even use logic with DOS. Okay, it's a group of commands. Okay.
Yeah, you can do if-then statements that would
they might be buried in there, but the notion is that with just a short list of commands, you're able to take control of and utterly ruin this computer and make it perfectly suitable. Oh, then the other part that got me. All right. A couple of years ago, you would have had the officials like Stephanie Thomas and these other cretins claiming that there are no modems in the computers. We don't have any wireless anything. Now that it's common knowledge that they do have wireless modems in these supposedly standalone computers, now they make all kinds of excuses. And they say, well, we have a BIOS drive here. We just insert this and we disable the wireless board. Bullshit. Bullshit. All right. But they're getting away with this. I can't believe it. I mean, the wireless board, the wireless modem is the whole kit and caboodle in terms of ruining the election, as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. And they're getting away with it. Right. So it's moments like these where I have to look at it and say, we're going to have to make a lot of noise. Making a lot of noise means podcasts, special shows. It means investigative reporting. Mr. Montville, I know you want to do the kindergarten stuff, but we may have to call you away for election fraud.
He's probably going to be willing to do both. He's got a lot of time on his hands.
He does. Okay. Well,
yeah, that's one thing I love about him.
I'm more than happy to sit down and educate the boy.
Well, let's do it. We'll meet again soon.
And, the thing, I mean, since you hooked
Becker
up.
is now considering expanding his role to not just setting me up as a nonprofit, but to taking on an administrative executive position with us too.
What would that be? I mean, he's a lawyer.
Executive assistant, actually.
He'll be our lawyer. Well, I mean, all you have to do is be our lawyer. We'll be so happy because,
Well, he already is my lawyer.
Okay.
He's our lawyer already.
All right. So.
But he wants to take on more of a concierge position as well.
Concierge position?
Concierge, yeah, like a little more of a
consigliere, you mean?
Consigliere, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, believe me, there's a lot to deal with here. That's all right. Momentary digression. You've heard me talk about PMAs, right?
Yes.
All right. So there's a question about how far you can push it with PMAs, what kind of shield they provide against government interference. And they basically argue so long as you aren't breaking the law, whatever that means. In the context of homeschooling, it gets a little more difficult. Insofar as if they deem you a non-public school, then they get to intervene.
Jeez.
All right. So, So as far as I'm concerned, you want to play that game, I can play that game. So one of the things that I'm thinking about All right. So the PMA is a type of, it's a legal structure. So the idea is that you're setting up a system based on private contracts. It's a substitute for an organization that's operating under public law.
Mm-hmm.
So the private contract is supposed to substitute for the public law in some fashion. The argument is private contract arrangement can only do that to a certain extent. And where you draw that line, not very clear at all. Okay. So I look at this, and so there's some very creative legal thinking that's going to be called for here. And I'm hoping that Dr. Becker will be the guy. Okay. So one of my bright ideas is to say, all right, and I just checked this. You create a holding company, okay, and then in effect the PMA as a private contract organization can be a subsidiary of the holding company. Okay. So now the state of Connecticut would have to pierce two veils to get at people. And so again, with a little more creative thinking, I think we can create a legal structure.
We're going to meet at Monday at noon to talk about how to properly structure this organization.
Okay, so we'll get into that. I already laid this in front of Mr. Becker, Dr. Becker. He hasn't had a response to it yet. It's kind of a gray area. That's the problem, And so you basically have to decide if you're going to take chances on doing something like this. Yeah. So we'll see what comes out of that. That's my digression. So the upshot here is, I don't know when, where, how we're going to do it, Jason, but we have to be hitting the road, so to speak, and reaching out to people. All right.
Yes, we do.
You've been networking with a lot of people and getting amazing results as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
And that has to be multiplied somehow.
We have to keep that momentum and multiply it and reach into other areas. And we have to get out in the field and start giving people what they want to see. We're getting some, but they want to see what we're doing out in the field. They want to see field reporting. And it's coming, everybody.
Well, field reporting. All right. So field reporting, that can become a very complex subject very quickly, right? Field reporting is a trip to the Capitol building and bothering legislators.
Yeah, right? We've done a little bit of that, but not enough yet.
Okay.
We're going to track down Tong in his parking lot. I can't wait to do that.
Well, I mean, it becomes an
interesting. Again, I have a full-time job as an investigator, so we have to free up time from that a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're in the position where you're going to have to. I mean, we have to, because you're doing good at networking. We've got to find other people to whom we can delegate these things.
That's correct. That's something we're doing every day now. Working on that.
Yeah.
Except tomorrow. Tomorrow is a nothing day.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yes, but I mean, it's still remarkable. I mean, just to go down the list: Brendan Strock, Mark Cook.
Yeah.
What am I leaving out
Todd
here?
Hecht.
Sorry?
Todd Hecht, the guy that exposed in Proto.
All right.
You got Eric. You got lots of people getting involved. Hopefully Lori.
Right.
Yeah. And I had some other names I got from John Flynn. A guy named Tim. Two guys named Tim.
Oh, yeah?
That he recommended me to contact, yeah.
Well, I met somebody named Tim today. I don't know if it's the same person or not.
What's his last name, you remember?
No. Wait. Hold on. I might get lucky here. No.
All right. I'll talk to you about that later anyway.
Okay. As far as that's concerned. All right.
You're right. It has been amazing progress, and we have to continue the momentum. That's the thing.
I mean, there's a reason for this. I
love this. They love the idea of the news network that we're doing. They love it.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about that for a second. You keep coming back to the idea of automating aspects of the news organization. And
automating.
Well, when you said, for example, with Sam, you said, I want to set a goal of 6 hours a day of programming.
Starting off, yeah, and then eventually 12, eventually 18.
All right, but I made it very clear to you could do that right now if you wanted to.
How?
Okay.
Well, I could go to 6 hours right away. Yeah, probably. 24 though? How?
All right. If it's just YouTube, all right. Yeah. I don't know about the others, but if it's just YouTube,
it can be that just for starters.
You can set a schedule for so-called premiering, what you'd be doing is premiering oldies but goodies. All right. So out of the many videos you've done, pick what you think are the 6 best.
I see. Right. Roll them.
And then you're going to play those 6 probably every day, 6 hours a day, for a week or whatever. And then you go back into the vault and you'll pick 6 others. All right. And meantime, we're still producing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the volume of content keeps growing. And while you're having 6 hours a day of broadcasting, your choices keep growing. Okay.
And we could even do, and even if, let's say we have Polish Agnes wants to do her show with us, we can put her stuff on there too.
Okay, but
okay, so you have to get that.
YouTube gives you the opportunity to control the time and timing of the content.
That's all wonderful, but I don't know how to implement any of that. I don't know any.
Not hard.
Okay,
you just have to get used to doing it, and it's not hard. So maybe it's Selena. I think Selena already has a grasp. I kind of have a grasp. I know Eric can do it, no problem. Okay.
So what we have to do is get the channel set up to do that. That's something we could probably do in one meeting then.
It's mere mechanics, all right?
Okay.
So you have to have a list that says, all right, this is the content. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we go over here. Content 1, release at 1 o'clock. Content 2, 2 o'clock. Content 3, 3 o'clock. Work, okay? And then it's played at each of those times, cycles through, all right? Now you're looking at this and saying, well, more people need to know about this. So you've got a regular schedule, and you can send it out to other people and say, hey, look, we're going to be broadcasting X at 2, Y at 3, Z at 4. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
And this would at least presumably start to build an audience. I don't know. What do I know?
That'll work. I think that works temporarily though, because eventually you're going to run out of oldies but goodies, and you have to replace that with newer stuff.
All right. Well,
and some of the stuff that we have old might be outdated too. We have to be careful about that.
All right. What I would do is add some commentary, or again, unfortunately now I'm talking about adding some video, some editing, but to preface the oldie but goodie with a clip that's more current and says, we want to present this to you because we really think it's important when we raise this point, this point, and this point. Stick around and watch it. Okay, and you do that for each one of the oldie but goodies.
This all makes a lot of sense, and this is where I need a full-time producer.
I'm not sure to do 6 hours a day. Well, I don't think it's going to be full-time, but it depends.
Or at least part-time to start, and then ultimately full-time.
Well, you know what? I think we've fleshed out here sort of a plan.
We could probably start that up, but we would need someone to come along and keep it rolling.
Okay,
it sounds very involved.
Yeah,
I have the same problem. Honestly, I have the same problem with JBD right now.
All right.
I spend so much time doing what my secretary should be doing. I spend so much time opening and closing cases, and getting them onto Excel, and just even just making these folders. I sit there today and make 25 of these things.
Yeah.
That's the kind of crap that I shouldn't be doing as the CEO.
Okay.
So.
Well, what about your intern? When does your intern
start? He's starting on the 9th. So that's why we have the intern.
Okay. So for what it's worth, have you introduced Douglas to this situation?
He knows about the situation. He hasn't met the intern yet, but he will.
All right. Because I think quite frankly,
I called Douglas and told him that starting on the 9th, he's going to come here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 2.
Okay. Good. But in the meantime, you're talking about the need for a system.
A CFNE system, yes.
System.
A production system, yes.
All right. So that means rules and procedures. And now you're spelling them out. This is what you need to do. And here's the other part, by the way, that you have to consider. If you're going to entrust them to filing all this paperwork, the message to you, Jason Douglas, is keep your hands off.
Yeah.
Okay. The only people responsible for those files are them.
That's
so if you need something, you ask them to get it.
Same thing with you as my first treasurer.
Yes.
Once they have the financial infrastructure come up and it's time to buy the equipment, it's time to get subscriptions and things like that, I'm going to come to you and say, this is what I'm going to spend. And,
Yes.
You don't have to do the work, but I want you to be the supervisor of it.
Okay, so setting strict limits around you in terms of what you're allowed to do
Spend, essentially.
is to make you focus on getting the next thing done to grow the company.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Stop
That's right.
worrying about these other things, like you've been saying. Now just put your mind to what's the next step? What's the next place I need to get to?
That's right. Developing and delegating the tasks, and then of course banging out some of them myself, but most of them delegating. Yes, and that's all happening. So, not as fast as I would like it to, but it's happening.
Yeah. Okay. And how long is the intern going to stick around?
Until August, mid-August.
And any idea how to replace him?
There could be another one in the fall, for the fall semester potentially.
Okay. Yeah, there should. Yeah, there's. I mean, Douglas is going to become sort of the point man for this stuff. Look.
Yeah, I'm training him to be a case manager essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
And then by having to do the work and then learn how to manage it.
Yeah. It becomes a lot.
I'll literally take it. Does well. I'm going to hold his hand for a while, but it comes down to what I do. How I train people is I teach them what I think to a certain point. Then I throw their feet in the fire, and then I see in a situation that's not vital, and then I see how they do, and then we pull back and and then we train them again a little bit more, and then we throw them on the fire again, and then we're back again. Yeah.
Throw them on the fire again. Okay.
Yeah, we keep throwing them on the fire over and over again. I know it sounds bad, but look, that's how you learn, by doing, right? I mean,
yes, it is. Yeah. Let's see. So what's the other part of this? Okay. Yes. The Connecticut Private Investigators Association. Do you know anything about them?
I've heard of them.
Oh, you've heard of them?
Sure. What about them?
Well, I mean, they might be significant. They might not be significant.
Maybe. I mean, I look at my you know how I look at my competition? Yeah. I don't pay much attention to them because I know I'm better than almost every one of them.
Nonetheless,
I know that the quality of my work is so good that they'll always come back. I literally have had on more than one occasion lawyers leave and try to get someone cheaper or something, and then they always call back. Oh, they screwed up my case, man. We need you to help me out with this one.
All right, so
we charge a little bit more. We charge fair, but we're good, and I don't spend a lot of time researching. I think spending time researching what my competition doing is a waste of time because we're better, and we just lead by example. That's really it. I've never spent one night worrying about any of my competitors' investigations. Not one night.
Well, there's so much worrying about them.
First of all, there's more work than they can handle anyway. It's not like there's a shortage of crime and slips and falls and dog bites in the state of Connecticut. Believe me.
Yeah.
So private investing industry is not an industry where it's a dog eat dog world in terms of competition, which is why they have this association where they all sit around and drink and eat together. And
all right. So how about Don DeStefano?
Yes. What about DeStefano? He's a politician, right?
It says here he's a retired detective sergeant from the city of Vallejo, California, and he's the president of the Connecticut Private Investigator Association.
Oh, okay.
Matthew Helm.
Good for him. I've heard of these people.
Okay. How about Paul Ciccarella?
Yeah, I think I heard of him. Okay. I might have seen his name on a report once in a while.
George Lemieux.
Okay.
And Teresa Dornfield. Oh, there's more. Oh, my goodness.
Well, these are my private investigator competitors.
Essentially, although, I mean, they're acting as, they're on the board of directors. There's quite a few of them. My goodness. Okay, so we've got a director of training and events.
You can get board certified. I know I can get board certified as a private investigator.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something to consider doing. It's probably them that do it. And they probably put you on some kind of a directory or book that may occasionally get you a little extra work. So I thought about doing that. Matter of fact, I think it's on the company to-do list that from years ago. There's a lot of hoops to jump through to get through it, and it just didn't seem worth all the effort. Like I said, we just let our work, our honesty, Our integrity, our quality of our work speak for itself.
Okay.
And it does.
So, all right. So there's about 30.
30 what members of this board?
30 groups, I guess. Well, he includes members of the board here, but these are the this is the Find a Private Investigator page. And
I know I could pay money to my web guy to have our name put near the top of the chart when people search like private investigator in Connecticut, our company. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we show up at the end of the first page, which is pretty good.
Okay.
Or we could pay to have it at the top, which might be it was a lot of money though they wanted.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh,
well, I don't see. I mean, I'll send you. I think I did send you the link for it if you wanted to just bother to check it out.
Sure,
So,
I don't see why not.
Okay, there's a word. The word is.
We're better than all those guys.
What about them?
We're better than all those guys.
All right, I got that part, but they think the same thing too, right?
Except they're wrong.
Okay.
No, they may be okay. Look, I do know that the quality of investigators is shit. It sucks in Connecticut. There's so many wormy, live in their mom's basement
Are they
type.
good anywhere?
You ever seen the movie Something About Mary?
I only vaguely remember it.
With Matt Damon and Brett Favre made a cameo in it.
Okay.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
The private investigator in that movie is like a shyster.
Yeah, I can't stand Cameron Diaz.
He hires Ben Stiller's in it. He hires an investigator to find a old high school sweetheart of his in Florida, and the investigator goes down there and seduces her instead of.
No, right. Oh, wait a second. Was Ben Stiller in this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm remembering this now.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's a funny ass movie.
All right. Yes,
the Franken beans. Remember the Franken beans?
Oh, yes. The stuff in her hair, shall I say?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the dog eats all the uppers and whatnot. It goes crazy. It's a great movie. It's funny.
Okay, they had to throw that in. Oh my God.
Magda ends up eating them. She's vacuuming the living room really fast.
All right, that's cool.
I think that's one of the funniest movies since the year 2000 to come up.
All right, I'm going to take a chance here. Should we try and talk a little bit about, again, here we go. Sorry, I ran.
Oh no. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So the bottom line here is, I mean, I used Housey TV as the barometer here, and so you want to know what he devoted himself to today?
What did he devote himself to today?
Sports riots in Paris.
Jeez.
All right. So how do I interpret that? I interpret that to mean things have gone a little quiet in Iran. He's all over what's happening in Iran. If he's not covering it very much, fine. We have still the stuff that went on over the last couple of days over the so-called agreement, and I'm going to say it, I'm sorry, game playing in which Trump engaged masterfully. All right. Meantime, there was another case of a ship. I think the Americans captured this ship. I'm trying to remember. And
I think every day that goes by,
that
the Iran Mullah remains in power, is a day they get closer to winning it. Time is not on our side. Trump thinks time is on our side. It's not.
It's like, where did you go? Do you have an evil twin or something? Because I'm like, wait, we had this conversation.
I know, but time is on their side because the more time
thing. All right. Is the economy getting weaker or not?
Well, it is. I get that.
Okay, so then,
but that would be a valid point if they cared about the economy. They don't care.
What do you mean? Of course they care. They keep demanding money. They care.
Yeah, they don't care. Well, of course they want money, but they can take a lot more of a hit than we think they can, I guess. This little 6%. Right.
I mean, more resilient. Look, the point
is very resilient. Okay. I think it'll take like through the rest. If we want to starve, if that's the strategy, just to choke them out economically, we better be prepared to go past the midterms and into next year with that strategy.
Yes, but that's not the only thing going on. Remember?
Yes.
Okay. As we said, we recognize there are all these things
down from the inside
behind the scenes of which we have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And again, I remind you, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, I don't know if it's a PSYOP article, but the Mossad put this thing out saying, our eyes are focused on regime change. It's all we're interested in. Okay. Well,
that's me. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
And remember, Mossad does have a silent partner who may share their values. That would be the CIA. Okay, so you can be sure they're working overtime in the back, and we've had these clashes.
Mm-hmm.
It's old news, but the city is called RASST, Rasht. It's like a port city on the Caspian Sea, and there've been a whole lot of trouble there. Okay, so I mean, so you got two things going on here. All right, and yes, I know the IRGC, Bashir, Tash, not Tash. What is the name of the army again?
Oh yeah, Artesh,
right? Artesh and Bashir. All these guys are still running roughshod over the people of Iran, but who knows what's going on in the background? Besides, okay, the other part. Look, if they had to restore the internet while they're trying to oppress the people, what do you think is going to happen? Something's going to have to give there.
Well, I did hear a report today that was a little encouraging about how that the Iranian people are still in massive waiting for the right signal to come out into the street again, and that they're still faithful. Right. That's coming.
I think we can agree it's not time yet. I get that. So, but this is another reason to point to you and say, stop being so impatient.
Okay.
All right. Because, the more we go through this, the more things to point to. And hey, I'm going to throw another one into the background. We don't know what the United Arab Emirates are doing in the background now, do we?
True.
Them tricky Arabs, they can pull a fast one on you and you ain't looking. All right.
Well, some of my impatience and others that think about it like me comes from Trump's initial announcement. Oh, this will have to wrap this thing up in 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
You shouldn't have said that.
All right. Let's just think about this for a minute. Here you have these people, and what is it here? I'm going to do this. All right, it gets complicated. All right.
What can I say?
So many things about this. All right. Let's do the first part first. Is it a negotiating technique? All right. When you're dealing with somebody who is difficult, who's not being entirely upfront with you, to always kind of put them on the edge in the negotiation. Create the impression, guys, you're doing great. We're almost there. I know if we work at it, we'll come up. Is that what you need to do with people like these? Because it sure looks like it. As opposed to, say, pounding the table. What's the matter with you, dummies? We're not going to get any results. And yes, so sometimes he does beat him with a stick. But for the most part, we're hearing this stuff that is more, conciliatory and encouraging and positive in some fashion. Okay.
Well, as long as the end game is the end of the umbrella.
He's smarter than you and me and everybody else. That's my opinion.
Well, they have more information than anybody else, that's for sure.
As well. And he's got smart people around him helping him.
Then just don't sell for anything short of the end of the mullah. That's all.
Yeah. All right.
Goodbye.
So it's, but at the same time, for what it's worth, I'm projecting myself into the quote war room or situation room and imagining the conversations that might be going on there. And the thing,
Jim, I'm just a doctor.
Yeah. Well, what I keep defaulting to is that you can be sure that there are people who know a hell of a lot about quote game theory. Okay. And they know, game theory is an essential tool for negotiations. So whatever psychological operations, whatever narrative, whatever kind of messaging you have to put out there, these guys got a pretty good idea of how to go with this. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. But what messes this up, right, is that it's still unclear who's really in charge.
That's true.
Okay.
Trump seems to claim that there are more reasonable people in charge now.
Okay, well, there is going again. He's stroking them. Mm-hmm. Okay, stroking their egos. An Ayatollah ego
doesn't work against religious zealots.
What is an Ayatollah ego?
It won't work against religious zealotry.
All right. So, all right.
He's aware.
Okay, so let me make a projection here. We're looking at them as if they're one unified group, and they're not. Okay. Even if they're all diehard Muslims, okay? Even if they're all, what would you call them?
Jihadist?
No.
That's America, people?
No, there's a group, within the Christian religion, we have people, myself included, who believe very strongly the problem with saying no to regime change is you're stuck with the old regime at least. Yeah, I know. Okay, but I think we know this, Alan. We know this. The hot issue here is getting them to move off the dime. And if they're not going, all right. I had a thought. Sorry, I got to bring it back. Bring it back. Come here, little thought. Come here.
That's got to go. There we go. While you're having a thought, I'm going to experiment with my camera.
Okay. All right. So we're doing that. All right. The issue. All right. So let me go back to the point that that there are differences among them. Okay. So you have part one, which is we don't know who's really in charge. Part two is we know that there is some amount of infighting. Now, there's certain ones that we keep pointing to and saying, yeah, we think a lot. The Speaker of the House guy, he's probably in charge. And this Bahati guy, he's probably in charge. Okay, maybe.
Probably, maybe.
But then again, maybe part of the inner circle disagrees. So you still got all this stuff going on. Now, to make it all goofed up, right, you've got the effort to communicate. They can't communicate with each other. This is ironic, by the way, all right? They had to open up the internet, but they dare not use the internet to communicate with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right? What a mess that is. So they're still using messengers, guys carrying pieces of paper on bicycles and motorcycles, going from one place to the other. This becomes a little bit like the problems we had back in the good old days. When you had something happen in the 1700s on one side of the Atlantic, it would take weeks to find out on the other side.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, well, there are things happening fast enough that whatever message is sent from one courier to the other is obsolete, and let's say the recipient has information the sender does not. Now he's got to explain it. Time passes. What a mess. Okay, and we're supposed to negotiate with them? God.
Well, then hopefully we're just playing them lip service while we're figuring out how to end them.
All right, so all right.
As little American casualties as possible, correct? As always.
Let me just read these things here. So Alan says, I'm old enough to remember when we had a president who said we don't negotiate with terrorists. Now we have a president who says we can make a great deal. Okay, look, in light of everything we've been saying, Alan, this is for show. All right. I, for one, do not think for a minute that President Trump is serious about making a great deal, although he did write a book called the ghostwriter called The Art of the Deal. In spite of all that, come on. I mean,
so you agree that Trump is smart enough to know we can't negotiate with religious zealots.
All right. So what's this? It's hard to type on a keyboard with clove hooves. Huh?
Well,
yeah, you're going to have to explain that one, boy.
Something Ren and Stimpy.
Clove hooves. You telling me the Ayatollahs are like satanic entities with clove hooves? Is that what you're saying? There you go. There you go. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, what's the theme music? You got to break out your ukulele. What's the theme music?
Oh my goodness! It's not within arm's length right now. I can't do it.
Oh,
I should write a song for it. That might take a while.
Yeah. All right, a jingle, cloven.
A little jingle.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
You think Queen? Oh, hold on. I know what I can play. Hold on.
Right. All right. Well, while he is dealing with that. All right. So I should hope that it's clear to the audience that the situation remains a complex, hot mess. All right. And the part we're not talking about quite as much is how the military is ratcheting up the pressure gradually, bit by bit. Now, I'm not quite sure what to make of this, but the Iranians took one of their bugboats and put it in a parade. For who? Who was the audience for that parade? I would think it would be the people of Iran, but they're trying to show us what? That we're mighty and threatening? If they are, that's pretty stupid. Just a thought. I don't know. Anyway.
All right, ready for this?
Yeah.
This is I didn't write this. You have to credit Queen with this.
Don't chase the audience away.
I'm screwing it up.
All right. Well, he's still working on it. What is? I thought you learned some songs from Cordify.
I learned a bunch of them.
All right.
But I've learned hundreds of them. I've memorized maybe 2 or 3 dozen.
Okay. So is this your original composition? It'll be the theme song for CSNE? Something to it. Yes. Live.
Something like that.
All right. So I'm going to drop one on you. If you're looking for somebody to write a theme song, I have someone to propose.
Don't tell me Eric again.
I am.
No. What is this guy? What is it that this guy can't do?
Listen to me. Eric has written over 60 songs. Okay. A couple of them got the attention of people in Nashville who wanted to buy these songs from him so they could produce them.
Really? That's impressive.
No, the man has many talents. That's just a fact. Okay.
How about you know what the song would be as a great theme song?
What?
The Red Sox used to use it back in the day.
What's that?
Angry Young Man by Billy Joel. You know that piano solo in the beginning? You heard that before?
If I heard the song, I'd recognize it.
Yeah, I would play it for you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, well, Angry Young Man. Is that what the theme song or something like that should be?
That's the name of the song, but the piano solo is awesome. It's a perfect news theme song.
Let's see. All right.
It's a very fast playing piano solo in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Just to put it on YouTube and play it later. Angry Young Man, Billy Joel.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I just wanted, just for laughs and giggles here, bring this up.
Oh, it's the Hormone Strait. Oh, wait, no, it's Connecticut.
Yes, it is.
My bad.
Okay. All right. So here we're
about
looking
the same
at.
size, just so you know.
All right.
Okay.
So
Is this a topographical map?
Essentially, yes. So it's weird, right? Because here's this, I guess, is that the Connecticut Valley there? That big green block?
The green would be the plains. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And then it comes down, I guess, is this the Connecticut River? Yeah, all right. That's the Thames River. And here's New Haven.
The Thames River down there,
Bridgeport. Yeah. All right. So this has got to be the Connecticut
Here's
River.
the kind of technology we need. We need a pointer.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Can people see this?
Yeah, I think they can.
This right here, this little white arrow. This
Well,
is the Thames River right here.
All right. Well, wait, so are you
I'm using my mouse? And this is the Connecticut River right here.
All right.
This is the Housatonic River. Wait a minute.
All the way to the left, Housatonic.
Housatonic River's down here.
Let's see here. I think
It comes from Bridgeport.
that's correct.
Right here.
No. The bridge, the Housatonic.
I'm not showing it well here.
Empties
It's
out
right here.
It empties out in Milford.
No. This is Milford's like right here. Bridgeport's down here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see the river very well here.
Right. So we can see that this is all mountainous over here. Or
you know that the highest peak in Connecticut is right about here, and it's part of the side of a higher mountain that's in New York.
Or Massachusetts.
Or Massachusetts. I think it's New York, actually. It's like right here.
Yeah, right. I know what you're talking about.
This little notch was the result of a land dispute back in the 1600s.
Yes, I know. Alan likes to tell that story too. Right,
yeah.
Alan?
This right here at Ridgefield,
mm-hmm.
It's one of the hardest areas to get to by road. I mean, it's got roads, but it's just such a pain in the ass to go there.
Left over from the colonial era, I'll bet.
Yeah. So the only Revolutionary War skirmish happened right around here.
Uh-huh. That would be related to...
It was really a battle that took place in New York, but
no, wait a second.
little bit of it spilled over here.
There was stuff that happened in Groton, Connecticut. And you want to know who's responsible for what happened in Groton, Connecticut?
Nathan Hale?
Nope.
Who?
Benedict Arnold.
That was at sea, though. I don't think there was any fighting on shore.
Well, and then you had the raid in Essex in 1812. That's another thing. But
okay,
yeah,
I never heard about that one.
We've had battles here. We've had to fight sometimes. That's right.
Over here, I think some of the most beautiful areas of Connecticut are in here and up here in the East Heartland, Norfolk, and also in here.
So,
Okay. So what would you want to tell me about? What was it you were trying to tell me about Connecticut?
Oh,
We
well,
went
if
off
they're
on this
not,
tangent.
all right. Well, we got this, but the other thing I started talking about was this video I watched that basically talks about how Connecticut is a state of contradictions, and the focus with the contradictions of the state, of course, are wealth and poverty. So we know about the Gold Coast here that basically goes from Fairfield to Greenwich, down that lower part there.
Right about here, yeah.
And then I like to point to what's called the shoreline community. So that would be from
here.
That section there, I guess, sort of.
From Branford to Old Saybrook.
Yeah, that you've got a lot of. You'd be surprised how many mansions are located in this area.
No, I'm not surprised. I see them all the time.
So yeah. Meantime, I mean, this upper right-hand area, that's the other thing. I think this
is all very strong Trump country up in here.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, there aren't many people up there.
Well, the people who live there. Union has only about
800,
like 100 something people that vote for president in Union every 4 years.
Yeah. So there you go. So I wish I had more markers on this, but you drive this state all the time. I'm driving to different parts of it. And, we don't think about where we are exactly. I think we see interesting things.
Well, just yesterday, I started to run. Went to Danielson here, then Hampton, back across to Hartford, Farmington, New Britain, Bristol, Wolcott, Wallingford, Meriden. Middletown, and then home.
Right. So there you go. Right.
Last year, I had a run. I had to be up here in Salisbury, and then literally in New London right after that.
That sounds like that's crazy.
Yeah, there's no real good road that goes from one to the other.
And speaking of which, the other hot item is our transportation system sucks.
I'll tell you right now, before 2021, if I were to go on any kind of significant ride in Connecticut, say 30 miles or more, the odds of getting caught in some kind of a traffic jam were about 1 in 7.
Now,
today they're 1 in 2.
I would agree with you. Yes, but all right, let's deal with this. More traffic. I would think more people are living in Connecticut that we don't know about. No,
we have a population growth that we don't know about, or there's just more annoying, unnecessary construction jobs being done. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. I see these things every day, and I see roads that look like they were fine, and yet here we are redoing them. And
what about Route 95?
Route 95 needs to be widened.
Yeah, it's a constant problem. And so
how come we're repaving roads all over the state that don't need to be repaved when we're not doing the real projects that need to be done?
Let me give you an example. So I go to Stanford on Mondays, right? And then when I drive back about 11 o'clock at night, what would that be? The southbound side of 95 is often backed up like crazy.
It's construction.
Nope. Whatever is down the road causing a clogging of the traffic. But you want to know who's the major participant in all that traffic? Trucks.
Yeah.
Freight trucks.
Well, 95 is the only viable way through.
Yeah. So, maybe we need another interstate or something. It's just.
Well, you can come through on 84 as well, but it's.
But it sends another message. By the way, it gets to another video I got to tell you about. The business is good. Okay, for all you investors out there, if you want the canary in the coal mine, if you want to be able to measure the health of the American economy, is the Dow Jones Transportation Index. Okay, that's the one. Because the Transportation Index, which is a composite of major shipping companies of various kinds, trucking companies, when that goes down, that simply means people are shipping less things, fewer things, and fewer things means the economy is shrinking or not doing well. Mm-hmm. And when the transportation index is going up, that means people are shipping stuff like crazy. If Route 95 is any indication, oh my God, the economy is doing just fine. All right.
Even if my driver hours are not.
And I'm looking on my side and it's kind of all open and I see some trucks on my side, But on the other side, whatever's going on, I don't know. So, and here's the crazy part. Okay, so Eric has gotten this bug up his rear about the idea of turning New Haven into a significant shipping port. Well, nice idea.
That's an idea that we talked about last year, actually, that Eric, John Anderson and I talked about and hashed with Steve Roscoe, who's running for New Haven. And we asked him the question point blank, why is New Haven Harbor only being used for fishing?
Well, it's
do more than just fishing.
The oil gets shipped there. They got that small oil depot.
Well, for the most part, all they do is fishing.
Yeah, well, we like our fish, right? We're very environmental around.
Well, how about the Longshoremen's Union has too much power in keeping it only fishing?
You might be right about that too. But in any event, okay, so let me quickly tell you about this video. So this guy is sort of an amateur economist, and he gets on and he offers up an interesting observation. So he has this kind of curious mind. He would ask one question, get an answer, leads to another question. And he was basically trying to figure out what's going on really from one man's perspective with the American economy. And to cut to the chase, what he discovered was that the real metric for how the economy is doing is flatbed trucks. How are those flatbed trucks doing? And the short answer is the companies, the flatbed truck companies, which only make up 10% of the total amount of trucking, are rejecting half of the requests for their service.
More than they can handle.
Prices are growing through the roof.
More than they can handle.
The rest are saying we can't help you.
So if you're a young entrepreneur, get into the flatbed trucking business and you'll be rocking.
That's correct. That is so correct. And it's not going to end anytime soon either.
Because of all the factories being built.
Exactly. And more. So the other part was that he's collecting more and more data, and the picture that was emerging is from from the east and west coasts. We have major ports into which material is being shipped. We're importing stuff to build factories in the middle of the country.
Good.
Okay, so there's this incredible migration of material into the middle of the country to build out all these factories. Now, I have to stop on this point, backtrack just a tiny bit, and bring up the name Peter Zeihan, Ziehan, Peter Zeihan. He's what you'd call a geopolitical economist. I mean, I've got to hand it to him. So the first place he starts is with the belief that demography is destiny, all right? So if your birth rates are down, you're in trouble. If your birth rates are looking good, you have a good future.
Our birth rates are down. They're not as bad as the Chinese, though.
Yes. So, but yes, this is going on around the country. So, I'm going to say it. All this crap that Biden did with all these illegals coming in, it was double-edged, okay? On the one hand, replacement for all the children who were never born, okay? But on the other hand, you're bringing all these people who are criminals and they don't want to mix with our culture and all this other crap.
So this goes for all the Generation Z young men out there. Mm-hmm. Start going to the bars again. Start finding your girls. Start making moves on your chicks, man. There's too many men and young men that are just not doing that now.
Yeah. Does anybody come to mind?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Well, all right. I won't say it either. But we both know this person.
I'm not singling out any one person. It's a tendency of a lot of young men that I know about that just don't do. They're doing things online, but they're not taking the time to ask girls out on dates and I don't know why. I mean, it's part of the indoctrination process, honestly.
Well, the whole toxic masculinity thing. Yes.
There you go. There it is in a nutshell.
Right, a number of men say, "Look, I don't want to seem like a bad guy here because I'm seem like I'm too forward or this other stuff."
Right.
Meantime, the women are secretly saying, "Oh, come on, ask me.
Come on, make a move, honey." Yeah, exactly.
Ay. All right.
All right. Listen, are we ready to wrap it up now? You got a quick exit thing before we go for tonight?
I'm just getting warmed up, boy.
I gotta go. I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here, let's just put that thing to bed, and then you get to go to bed.
Oh yeah. We'll be back though.
All right. So, just closing thoughts here. The last thing is the Connecticut fraud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're going to have to, I feel a need for a plan. All right. We talked about the election fraud. It's, I just, all right. In my
It's
dream
going to take
world,
a collective populist effort to fix it.
All right. In my dream world, if we had a team, all right. So to the audience out there, to the ramparts, nightclubs make a comeback with self-driving vehicles. What? I just watched a video by Eli Yoder. The Amish double. They're yeah. Okay. I don't think the Amish have any problems with dating. That's figure. Right. Go figure.
We'll take over eventually.
Yeah.
Watch the Amish population go up.
Yeah. Well,
in percentage.
You know, there's a whole bunch of things. You know, I'm going to say it. The trad wife. Have you read about the trad wife? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so there is some number of women, young women, who realize that they have been sold a bill of goods when it comes to feminism. And so they are out.
The walk away for chicks.
Yes, exactly.
This is great news for all the hard hat construction workers around the country.
Right. So, so people have this simplistic, stupid notion in their head. Oh, you mean this woman who's going to stay at home, barefoot, pregnant, going to cook and clean? She wants a little house with a white picket fence. That's only part of it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, the modern trad wife still wants to be able to work. She wants to do some things where she feels she's contributing to the community outside of the home. And that is more than okay. Okay. But, you know, it's a shifting of the balance. And a lot of women realize, let me just two more things with this. So you had these women who are realizing that they've been sold a bill of goods and now they're trying to get back into the game. Okay. But some of them have to learn that you don't trash men. Don't do it. Bad idea. Okay. Meantime, this is the one that gets me. You have some of these women who have these podcasts about dating and women and sex and all the problems. And so they have these episodes where they're putting up these clips of these women who are like in their late 30s, early 40s, crying their heart out, going, I can't find a man. I look pretty. What's wrong with me? Come on. Somebody's got to want to date me. No,
but then a good man comes along and asks her out and they reject them.
Yeah,
So it's,
you know, congratulations, all you liberals and
I got news for you. I got news for you, too. I don't care what anybody says. There are still millions of women out there that still want a man to take care of them. They still want to stay home and take care of their baby, their kids.
Correct.
They don't necessarily, they all want to go out.
All right. It's just, you know,
the traditional woman is still out there. They're just, the media is just depressing them.
And hiding them to a certain extent. But, you know, look, I got two other quick comments. One, so I walk the streets of Old Saybrook, and I can tell you that it gladdens my heart to see kids on bicycles, hanging out, walking around, doing their thing, girls laughing, they're having ice cream, looking around, think everything's funny. That's fine. That's good. Okay. And then I see high school students studying, actually writing in books and studying textbooks. And it's like, it's moments like these where I begin to say there's something somewhere here where we can point to something we call normal.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, God. All right. Meantime, we get all this other stuff. All right. You got to throw it out there. June 4th in the Guilford Free Library, the kids are going to have a unique reading experience because they're going to get to be read to by the drag queen named Bleach.
Oh my God. Maybe we should protest that.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, it's all right. We're going to find a way to protest that. So one woman has already called up the director and gave him an earful, but he needs to hear from more people that this is insane. Well, and then also I looked up this bleach thing. That is going to be reading to the kids. Okay, I'm sorry. Two words come to mind: grooming and pedophilia. Right? So you can play stupid. You can play your weird moral relativistic games. You have no concept of how these people are being brainwashed. That's just wow. Anyway, I have talked too much.
We are ready to say goodbye for tonight. We will be back again very soon here on Common Sense News and Entertainment.
Well, you're aimed for Tuesday. I'm going to be
Tuesday, I'll be back
on Monday. Right.
You'll post everything you got, and we will continue and stronger than ever. So,
yeah. All right. So I just feel like I'm throwing all these things on the floor, and now that we get off, and I got to pick them up and figure out how to organize them.
And you are every bit as capable of doing that, sir.
Yeah. Thanks. All right, guys.
Everybody here at Common Sense News and Entertainment. Once again, Leslie Jane, thanks for watching.
All right.
We'll be back here on Facebook.
Tuesday. Look for Tuesday at 9.
Tuesday at 9, we'll be back.
All right.